Today being the 15th of January, we are actually having the remembrance, or you can call it the Armed Forces Remembrance Day. This is in commemoration of our fallen heroes, and recently it was being shifted to 15th of January because that was the day where we have the Biafra surrendering to the Nigerian force. Good afternoon and welcome to Nigeria Now, where we keep you updated with all the juicy gist stories that are happening right across the nation today. I am Sana Elisha and I'll be doing the program with Rachel Tansy. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Cesar.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm great, even though I don't have my emblem to actually show my love celebrating our armed forces. But I mean, coincidentally, we're actually having the green and white.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that we have a day being marked out. Very, very important. And I really have to commend, even though we're different countries with different dates that they have
Yes.
set aside to actually celebrate the armed forces. And then we're seeing that today the president was there, the Senate president, the speaker, as well as other very important dignitaries were actually in Abuja to actually show their let's say
Respect.
remembrance,
Yeah.
celebrating our fallen heroes, those who have actually shed their blood. The reason why you and I can sit here and actually tell the world what is happening in Nigeria is because we have some people who are out there having sleepless nights to make sure that you know what Nigeria needs to be secured. And I think it's very important that we celebrate them in as much as Nigerians are actually having so much expectation from them.
We
I
do.
mean, you and I have also said that the fact that we need the armed forces to be doing something, and not just the army. We're talking about air force. We're talking about
Yeah.
the police force. We're talking about, because anytime we have the armed forces, it's mostly about every force whatsoever. And then we see a lot of people. I think for the past 2 months, a lot of people have been walking around with the emblem just to be able to, show a day where we could actually celebrate them. I think it's very important that we actually start the show by actually, having a day or having this time like this to actually
Yeah.
talk about the Armed Forces Remembrance Day.
Cesar, just signing up for the army is really a heroic act, in my opinion, because you know what it takes. It's not one of those things that you step into without knowing. It's not that corporate job that they tell you you'll be signing papers and then eventually your boss asks you to write a memo. It's not like that. You're signing up and you already know what you're signing up for. So that's already a heroic act on another level. And then you now taking up those arms and then going to the battlefield, protecting people that don't even know you and people who might never even say thank you. That's another level. And that is why it's important for the world on different days in different countries to be able to remember our fallen heroes, because it's important, be it people that fought for a just cause or an unjust cause. Either way, we know the armies are about taking orders from leadership. So in the end, it's all about, are they taking their orders from the right leaders or not? But regardless, when you put yourself in that position, you're already a hero, because your cause is to protect you and I out there. And then it's really important. We started seeing that even from services yesterday in our various churches, where it was we took time to honor,
actually mark that time.
exactly, to mark and show our respect. And the funny part about it is that there might be soldiers who celebrated this yesterday or today and will be celebrated in the next Armed Forces Remembrance
Very
Day.
true, Rachel.
Yes, Sele. And then as joyful as the celebration might look like, or it's a sad one, it's a very emotional one, because one or two people
Very true.
that have gone. You and I will know one soldier, one family member, one brother, one sister, one friend, and that have served in the army, be it the Navy, be it the Air Force, and be it the military, that they are no more. So I'm looking forward to the government of Nigeria. Now we have to take it to the part, because you know what? Insecurity is still the order of the day. It means we're going to have more fallen heroes, as we might want to say, God forbid to that.
But it's unfortunate we can't.
Unfortunate we can't say that we are going to have more foreign heroes. Now I just want that let these fallen heroes be for a just cause. That is, let's stop seeing the sabotage we're seeing in our military. It's about time, because I keep saying it that there is no how trained intelligent agents, that is, we're talking about our soldiers here, our officers here, will be outsmarted by people who only know how to operate a weapon. These herdsmen, these terrorists, are not as intelligent as the Nigerian military. I can argue that anywhere. These are people that go through school, know all the strategies there is, know what it takes. They don't just know how to operate weapons. They know every other technicality and strategy that is way above the use of weapon, while we have herdsmen who are just very good with the weapon. I'm not saying they are not intelligent, but I'm saying that
But all
they
they know about
cannot
is just
be.
to shoot and nothing more
Exactly.
than that.
I'm not saying that they are not intelligent. Nobody should misquote me here, but they can't be more intelligent than the Nigerian army. It's not possible. I will not agree to that. Therefore, I believe that sometimes the things that we are seeing, the failure, is as a result of some sabotage left, right, center, here and there, because it doesn't make sense. These people keep outsmarting our military in a way that they shouldn't in the first place. And this is where I'm saying, let our fallen heroes fall for just cause, not because there is politics, not because there's corruption, not because we have greedy and very selfish leaders. Yes, I'm looking forward to fallen heroes more peaceful in their grave, because you know what? They fought the good fight, and eventually there's peace restored to Nigeria.
Richard, you're very right, talking about the fact that the sabotage we've been seeing over the years, and then it's more like, we are having politics playing out in the military when it's not supposed to be so. And then another conversation a lot of Nigerians will be having regarding this armed force remembrance is the fact that, how about the loved ones, these fallen heroes left behind, talking about their children, talking about the widows and all of that. And then we say that sometimes the benefit that the loved ones left behind supposed to get, it doesn't get to them as it should be. And I think this is another time for the force to actually do something, to actually, you know what, their loved ones that they have left behind. How about those who lost one arm or another at place of active service? What is happening to them? Because we see that a lot of people, just like you said, we have those who die, we have those that become handicapped. Why? Because they're there. It's a thing of joy for the military to die in service. It's a thing of pride that I died at the war front as a, as an army. And then why? Because they are being trained to kill and be killed. That is what an army. But it's unfortunate, Rachel, you made mention of the issues that we're having of insecurity, where we're having that these are some of the responsibility of the police. But because of the way things are, we're saying that right now for everything, we have to call on the army to actually intervene eventually. And then it's not supposed to be so. Rachel, while we're growing up, you hardly see...
No, we hardly see
You hardly
them.
see a soldier around. If you see them, there is danger. We'll
Serious
back
danger.
inside. I vividly remember the first crisis we had in just the 2021 crisis. The first time I was extremely happy and scared at the same time. Why? Because you hardly see them around. But right now, Rachel, they are more like, you just see them everywhere. And then I think to some extent they're beginning to lose the respect that they have. Because we're having easy access to them. They're supposed to be at our borders doing something more. But I'm just hoping that, Rachel, will get there where we'll no longer be seeing them the way we are seeing them right now. But then we'll see that, just like you made mention, the government needs to do something so that when we have them falling, they are falling for a just cause, not because somebody somewhere failed to do his or her responsibility, and then some of these people are being exposed and being made vulnerable to the bandits because a certain information has been exposed. And we know that they have this quiet way of motto whereby you don't speak, there are certain things. They just have the way their operation goes. So we hope to see more of this is coming up in the army. So we still have to respect our fallen heroes. Because just like you mentioned, one or two people who actually sacrifice their lives, and I hope that we'll do more as well. Now, let's shift a bit from the armed force and let's see politics. We saw that on Friday, it was a day of jubilation for some states. It was a day of celebration for some parties. And then for other parties, they're not excited. If you take a look at what happened in Kano State, Plateau State, the jubilation celebration, especially from those who felt that, I mean, this is our party. I mean, in fact, a lot of people felt that, I mean, if some of these parties were not giving this fair hearing by the Supreme Court, maybe right now you and I will be talking about a different story entirely.
True.
But we're saying that there was a lot of smiles on the face of a lot of people. That is to say that the people's mandate was being protected.
Yes.
Now we're saying that the PDP actually are saying if the gubernatorial candidate or presently the governor of Plateau State, Caleb Mutfwang, who came out under the party of the PDP, according to the ruling being given by the Supreme Court, the fact that some of the will I say cases or some of the appeal being brought before it was more like a pre-election case, and you know the Supreme Court felt that that was more, or let me just use it in my own word, waste of time to the Supreme Court, because these are things that, I mean, should have been handled before the election, and they felt that the appeal court did not actually do a just work over there. Now we're saying that the party have taken it upon themselves, because we know that about 16 or 17 party members were being sacked from the House, and then right now we're seeing that they are saying if they have a structure, which one of the reasons that the PDP came under attack, the fact that they need to be given back their seats, because it's more like sacking them for something that is not just. And we're seeing that the PDP have gone to the Nigerian Judicial Council to actually complain, and we're seeing that it's either the governor will have to appeal on behalf of the members of the House over there, or we'll see that we just have to wait for a rerun. That's for those you remember we had some members of the Senate and also House of Rep, the likes of Bangos, Mutfwang, Benny Lar, and other people who were actually being kicked out of their seats because of one thing or the other. And we're seeing that right now they are seeking for possibly an appeal. So let us see whether the Nigeria Judicial Council actually answer to them, or the governor will take it upon himself to actually help them to secure back their seats in the House.
I believe in the case of Plateau State, of course, the governor will take it upon himself to take this appeal, because I believe for this House of Representative members at the state level and also the senators at the federal and then the House of, at the House of Representative, it's quite unfortunate for them that they cannot go to the Supreme Court. At the same time, I believe it's okay. We are tired of having election petitions. We are tired of the Supreme Court. It's about time we take a chill pill, rest, and then just allow more of the low-key things that could put back these people in their positions to take place, which is, of course, now seeing that the governor is able to still have his position, and then the people's mandate speaking for themselves and all of that. Let's see that the governor will be heard eventually. And of course, with his legal team of experts, which I believe did a great job at the Supreme Court level, and being able to make sure that there's no sack situation for the governor in Plateau State, I believe that that same legal team will be able to put down a petition that, of course, the NJC will have no other option but to overturn these verdicts from the appeal court, because I clearly stated when we talked about this on Friday concerning the verdict that, for me, the appeal court at the state level disappointed. There wouldn't even be a need for the Supreme Court for the governors, if only the appeal court delivered as they should, because the law is the law regardless. So why would you try to sugarcoat it to be able to maybe, suit your client or suit whoever you think has the best stand or a bigger bidder and all of that? Because that's what I saw playing at the appeal court level. We saw where the appeal court came out and saying that the verdict was as a result of a typo error. We saw that. That was in Kano State. Yes, very terrible. Shouldn't be hearing such things. We saw that playing out at the appeal courts at the state level, and then that was very sad. So yes, I believe that Governor Mutfwang will do the needful, because truly, with the way election played out in Plateau State, without the appeal court doing what they did, we wouldn't have had any election case at the Supreme Court, and also the upturn of these results for lawmakers like Bagos and the rest. I believe he was also the people's choice, because we saw the same jubilation for him as the governorship level election and all of that. So I'm sure that Plateau State is hopeful, that is for his constituency and his area, are hopeful and are waiting to see that the governor put in one or two things, put in the word, put in a good petition that will, of course, not just be thrown away, but will see reason that, you know what, these people are being given back their positions.
I actually hope that they actually fix the issue of the lawmakers in the state house level, because I do not
Should.
want a repeat of what is happening in River State to actually
True.
played out itself here in Plateau State.
Yeah.
Because we could imagine what the house will look like without us having representatives of our
Yes.
various local government and constituencies over there. So I am hoping that whatever needs to be rectified will be rectified. But then for the federal level, we just have to wait for the by-election, which is supposed to take place in February 3rd. So our fingers are crossed, but we just hope that we don't have a reputation, just like you said, of that of the appeal court, where they go out of their jurisdiction to actually do things that are not supposed to be, but that they will verify every information that's been brought to them, and then they cross-check it before they give their final ruling. Now, we'd like to close the show, still going back to the issue of insecurity. We've seen that, I mean, there have been great concern in FCT over the rise of kidnapping, especially for people who are living around Buari area and then some other areas of FCT. We've seen that it seems as if kidnapping is becoming the order of the day, and a lot of people are expressing concern and fears. I mean, would this thing will continue going on the way it is? When we record that, I mean, there's a family of 7 among many other people who have been kidnapped, and then we've seen that about 3 people have been shot, I mean, just to send a message, because the kidnapper said that they needed about, initially it was 60 million naira before they increased it to that of 100 million naira. And then we're seeing that Pitami is actually, you know, raising the fact that, I mean, we have the need SIM link. How comes we cannot make use of that? The security operative seems to be, you know, relaxing, and they're not doing what they are supposed to do according to him. And then it's more like putting his effort to waste, because he was the one who initiated this link of the need to the SIM while he was the minister. And then right now it seems as if it's being wasted. No, it's a thing of concern, because if we're seeing that they're saying that these kidnappers are taking advantage of the bushes and the rivers because they link around Niger and then also Kaduna. So we know these are the close by, will I say, close by states, close to FCT. So it's more very easy. But then what can we do to curtail this? Because I remember there was a time, you remember, when we had that issue in Nasarawa State, where the governors complaining that it seems as if they are leaving from Plateau State to get to Nasarawa State. And then we've been having cases like that, that the moment ice becomes like too much on them on a particular state, they make use of other local routes and then they go to the next state. Now, what can the government do? Because if we're having this concern in FCT, it's a matter of time that if something is not being done, it will spread to other neighboring states as well.
I mean, Senator, the FCT is regarded as one of the safest states in Nigeria. It's like when you hear every bad thing happening, it's like the precious eggs are just in the Federal Capital Territory, and they are the untouchables. So permit me to use that word. It's like every bad thing happens within the country, on the way, but not in. It's always the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway, but not in the Abuja. Exactly, Sele. So when you see such going even to the untouchable areas, just imagine you that you are in a touchable area. It's scary, but then we can leave that aside. And then the thing is, I keep wondering, Sele, what our security agencies do get funding. We're not saying it's enough, but regardless, they get funded. Now, my question is, what are you spending these funds on? We're not seeing you with improved gear. We're not seeing you with modern rifles. We're not seeing any of that. What our security, what is it precisely? Because these kinds of things, like bring certain things to the surface, what kind of technological devices are you investing in? Because there are certain technologies that we're supposed to have reached that level, because we have countries that are not even up to us, that have advanced in that. There's no need for comparison, but this is where I'm headed to, that even without the NIN linking, we have cell towers, and I started saying something like that in the morning. As long as you are using a cell phone for communication, you should be able to be tracked. Now, the NIN is just to say who owns
that
But
same.
do you even need to know, or do you, which is more important at this time? Is it identifying? Yes, identifying is important, but you are on a rescue mission, meaning tracking to know the location of these people, to be able to discover these girls are more important. And this is what we're talking about. Even without the NIN, these people could be tracked because they are using cell phone. They are using a technology, that there are technologies that allow you to be able to track the movement of these people, because there are cell towers everywhere. And whether we like it or not, these cell towers are what is allowing us to make this call. That is, you should be able to say that this call is coming within a range of this cell tower, because without it, they can't make a phone call. Exactly. So what kind of devices and technology are our security agency investing into? Because I believe that we should have grown past certain level in being able to deal with criminals. We can say when it comes to maybe the attacks in the village, they go very analog. They give letters to district head telling them they are coming, there's no phone call, and then they attack. But what about kidnappers that keep negotiating with you for days, and you're not able to track them, or to say this is where they are, or to take this hideout? You follow them based on their lead. You're supposed to be 10 steps ahead of them, and this is what we keep saying. We need to be 100 steps ahead of kidnappers in this country. And this is where I'm seeing a little bit of lagging behind for exactly for our security. And I just hope that that is the good thing about information. You know, just keep bringing things to the surface that now we can point fingers and say, you know what, you need to do better, because you can do better. You have what it takes to do better. Start channeling your fundings. We're not saying you have the best funding, but channel the little you have into being able to be 100 steps ahead of these people, because you are in a position to be better than them.
You know, I've seen a lot of reaction on X and also on other social media handles, whereby a lot of people are feeling that maybe these kidnappers feel that as far as the FCT, they have lots of money and that's why they're doing. Now, we remember the former minister saying the fact that, he's not encouraging paying of ransom, but with the way these kidnappers are going, this shows for an advance. And that's why in the morning I made mention of the fact that it seems that these people are exposed to an information that our own forces are not exposed to. The IGP is promising us that they will rescue the people. We remember we still have core members that are out there and we do not know their fate. Those coming from Akwa Ibom, and as well as many other people that have been kidnapped that have not made it. And you made mention of the fact that anyway, we go to the rural areas, they do not have. But Rachel, we've seen, all these telecommunications going to the various rural areas. If you do not have this particular network, they will tell you this other network is available. True. You can go to this. So I just believe that there is no way, Rachel, that they are not. And that's why you remember the issue of where they said we have to be advanced, talking about artificial intelligence. Since we are really backward, and that's why we're able to meet up with what is happening. So I'm just so concerned. And I hope that our government will take this seriously to make sure that, you know what, every life in Nigeria matters. Nobody is more Nigerian than the other. We are all in the same country. So whatever is needed to make sure that we bring back all the people that are under captivity back to their loved ones, the government and also the security operative need to do their best. Because from the way things are, it looks as if their best is not best enough, or it's not good enough for us. So we hope to see more proactive measures, and we hope that those who have been kidnapped will be brought back, and then every state in Nigeria will be secured. It will not be about if you are living in this particular place, you are safe. No. Right now, if the FCT is under attack, that means there's no place in Nigeria that is safe. So I'm hoping that we will have a way to measure up and do all that is needed to do to protect life, so that when we are wooing investors, they'll be excited to come into the country and not feel that their lives are at stake. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for doing this with me. And thank you also to our viewers for keeping the day with us on Nigerian Now. Until we come tomorrow, do have a blessed day.